Everyone's obsessed with blue zone diets. Eat like an Okinawan, they say. Follow the Mediterranean way. But here's what nobody tells you. The centenarians in these longevity hotspots aren't living to 100 because of what's on their plate. They're living longer because of what's in their mind. There's a mental habit so powerful, it automatically creates every healthy choice you've ever struggled to make. Today, I'm showing you the real blue zone secret that transcends diet. The one practice that builds unstoppable health from the inside out. The wellness industry has completely missed the point about blue zones. Walk into any health store and you'll see Okinawan sweet potato supplements, Sardinian wine extracts, and Costa Rican superfood powders. But Dan Buettner, the researcher who coined the term blue zones, discovered something far more profound than food patterns. When he studied the world's longest living populations, the real pattern wasn't what they ate. It was why they got up every morning. The Okinawans have a concept called ikigai, which translates to reason for being. The Sardinians talk about having strong family bonds and community purpose. Costa Ricans embrace their plan de vidas, their life plan that gives meaning to each day. Here's the breakthrough. Most people miss people. These centenarians don't use willpower to make healthy choices. They don't force themselves to exercise or count calories. Instead, their deep sense of purpose automatically drives every decision they make. When you have a compelling reason to be alive tomorrow, your brain literally rewires itself to protect that future. Think about it this way. A 95-year-old Okinawan woman who teaches traditional weaving to her grandchildren doesn't skip meals because she's on a diet. She eats nourishing food because her body needs energy to pass down her craft. She doesn't exercise because her doctor told her to. She stays active because her community depends on her wisdom and skills. This is why diet-focused approaches fail long-term, while purpose succeeds. When you're trying to force healthy habits through willpower alone, you're fighting against your brain's natural resistance to change. But when those same habits serve a deeper purpose, they become automatic. Your mind stops seeing healthy choices as sacrifices and starts seeing them as investments in what matters most. The research backs this up in fascinating ways. Studies show that people with a strong sense of purpose have lower inflammation markers, better immune function, and more efficient cellular repair mechanisms. Their brains literally age slower because they have something worth preserving their cognitive abilities for. But here's where it gets really interesting. Purpose doesn't just influence your health choices, it changes how your body responds to stress, how deeply you sleep, and even how your genes express themselves. When your mind has a clear reason to thrive, your entire physiology shifts into longevity mode. The Blue Zone centenarians aren't following complicated wellness protocols. They're not tracking macros or timing their meals. They're simply living with such clear intention that healthy choices become the natural byproduct of their purposeful existence. This is the foundation that makes everything else possible, and it's the missing piece in every diet program that promises longevity, but delivers only temporary results. So, what exactly is ikigai, and why is it more powerful than any supplement you could ever take? Ikigai isn't just a feel-good concept. It's a precise framework that the longest living people on Earth use to structure their entire existence. The word breaks down into iki meaning life, and gai meaning worth or value. It's literally your reason for being alive. The traditional ikigai model rests on 4 interconnected pillars. First, what you love, the activities and experiences that light you up from the inside. Second, what you're good at, your natural talents and developed skills. Third, what the world needs, the problems you can solve, or the value you can provide. And fourth, what you can be paid for. Though in Blue Zone communities, this often means what sustains you rather than what makes you wealthy. But here's where most Western interpretations get it wrong. Ikigai isn't about finding your perfect career or some grand life mission. In Okinawa, ikigai shows up in the smallest daily acts. An 87-year-old man who tends to his neighbor's garden has ikigai. A grandmother who makes traditional pottery for local festivals has ikigai. A fisherman who teaches young people to read the ocean currents has ikigai. What makes this so powerful for longevity is how ikigai literally rewires your brain. When you have a clear sense of purpose, your prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for planning and decision-making, becomes more active. This increased activity strengthens neural pathways that support long-term thinking and impulse control. You stop making choices based on immediate gratification and start making choices based on future impact. The neurological changes go even deeper. People with strong ikigai show increased production of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which protects existing neurons and promotes the growth of new ones. Their brains literally stay younger because they have something worth keeping their minds sharp for. In Okinawan communities, you'll see 90-year-olds who wake up at dawn not because they have to, but because they want to. They have specific roles that only they can fill. Maybe they're the keeper of family recipes, or the person who maintains the community shrine, or the one who knows which herbs grow where. Their ikigai creates what researchers call social embeddedness. They're woven so tightly into their community's fabric that giving up isn't an option. This social aspect triggers another longevity mechanism. When your purpose connects you to others, it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode that promotes cellular repair and immune function. Chronic stress, which destroys longevity, becomes nearly impossible when you're living in alignment with your ikigai. The physical health benefits are measurable and dramatic. Okinawan centenarians with strong ikigai have lower rates of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cognitive decline. Their inflammatory markers stay low, even in advanced age. Their sleep quality remains high because their minds aren't racing with anxiety about meaninglessness. But perhaps most importantly, ikigai creates what psychologists call post-traumatic growth. When life throws challenges at these centenarians, and it always does, their sense of purpose helps them not just survive, but become stronger. They don't see setbacks as reasons to give up. They see them as obstacles to overcome in service of their ikigai. Now let's get practical. Finding your ikigai doesn't require a spiritual journey or years of soul searching. It requires honest self-reflection and small, consistent actions. Here's the exact framework I use with clients to uncover their reason for being Thor. Start with the energy audit. For 1 week, track what activities give you energy versus what drains you. Don't overthink this. Just notice. When do you feel most alive? When does time seem to disappear? When do you feel like you're contributing something valuable? Write these moments down, no matter how small they seem. Next, identify your unique contribution. Ask yourself, what problems do you naturally notice that others miss? What do friends and family consistently ask for your help with? What skills do you have that feel effortless to you but difficult for others? Your ikigai often lives at the intersection of what comes naturally to you and what genuinely helps people. The third step is the integration test. Take your top 3 energizing activities and ask, how could I do more of this while serving others? Maybe you love organizing and your neighbor struggles with clutter. Maybe you're naturally good at listening and there's someone in your community who needs support. Maybe you have a skill that could be taught to younger people. Start ridiculously small. Don't quit your job to pursue your ikigai. Instead, dedicate 15 minutes a day to purpose-driven activity. Help one person per week with something you're naturally good at. Volunteer for 1 hour per month in an area you care about. The goal isn't to revolutionize your life overnight. It's to create a consistent connection between your daily actions and your deeper sense of meaning. Address the common obstacles head-on. If you think you're too old to find purpose, remember that many Okinawan centenarians discovered new aspects of their ikigai in their 80s and 90s. If you feel stuck in your current situation, remember that ikigai can be cultivated within any circumstances. It's about how you approach what you're already doing, not necessarily changing everything. The key is measuring the right outcomes. Don't look for immediate happiness or dramatic life changes. Instead, notice if you're sleeping better, if you have more energy, if you're making healthier choices without forcing them. These are the early signs that your ikigai is taking root and beginning to transform your relationship with your own longevity. Purpose is the master key, that unlocks every other health benefit the Blue Zone centenarians enjoy. Start your ikigai discovery process today. Even 15 minutes of purposeful action can begin rewiring your brain for unstoppable longevity. Subscribe for more longevity secrets that go beyond surface-level advice.